Have the pleasure of introducing Legita Wilson. Legita Wilson is the Indiana Department of Health's WIC Commodities Program Manager. She has a broad range and an electric experience of skills, having worked in the legal, manufacturing, information, technology, and social service areas. She has, for the past 11 years, been a member of the Indiana WIC team focused on commodities programs funded by the USDA. The programs include the Emergency Food Assistant Program, Commodity Supplemental Food Program, WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program, and Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program, as well as grants for the Local Food Purchasing Agreement Track 1, TFAP Reach and Resiliency Rounds 1 and 2, and the American Rescue Plan Act grant for WIC FMNP and SFMNP, which allowed Indiana WIC to implement a first-in-region electric platform for the FMNPs in 2023. In recent years, she was a recipient of the Hunger Hero Award and served as president of the National Association of Farmers Market Nutrition Program in 2021. So welcome, Legita.
Thank you, Lacey. Great job dealing with all of the alphabet soup that federal programs seem to love. I'm going to jump right in, give you an overview so that we can allow our star merchants more time to talk about their experiences. But I thought I would begin by giving you an overview of what we affectionately call Indiana eFMNP. That is our electronic solution that combines WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program and Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Programs benefit and redemption. A little background as to how we got here. There were two businesses that provided check processing and reporting services to these two programs. They decided that they did not want to do it anymore and exited the space at the end of 2021. We scrambled to find a temporary solution in 2022. That was not fun at all. The season started very late with no more than 5 days to issue benefits, and many of the local agencies were unable to participate because it was so late in the season and there was no produce available. That winter, we kicked off the Indiana eFMNP project, which we piloted in August of 2023 and have not looked back. The farmers, our eFMNP merchants, use a mobile register app that supports eFMNP, SNAP, credit, and debit payment types if the merchant chooses to use it for that. It also supports incentive program redemption if the incentive program chooses to use it. Recipients use a mobile wallet app to redeem their eFMNP benefits. Those without a smart device receive a printed QR code with their benefits on it. All benefits are valid for 30 calendar days from the available date. Any unused funds return to local agencies, Kitty, and they can reissue those funds to another eligible recipient. Our effort is to attempt to spend all of the federal food funds that we get every year, because if we don't spend them all, we get fewer food funds the following year, which is the opposite of where we want to go. We want to be able to bring more additional food funds to Indiana for these programs. As I said, we piloted in August of 2023. Through the 2024 season, Indiana eFMNP put $252,532.93 directly into the pockets of the 153 Indiana produce growers, while simultaneously providing fresh, local, nutritious produce to WIC and senior recipients. Eligible WIC recipients get their benefits from their local WIC clinics. Eligible senior participants receive benefits through their area agency on aging, or in the case of Lawrence, Orange, and Washington counties, where we do not have a local agency operating this program, I and my team serve as the local agency for those counties so that no senior in the state is unable to access this program. For 2025, we have 11 merchant enrollment events planned across the state in March and April, thanks in most part to the work of Purdue Extension Community Wellness Coordinators. They are spearheading this particular effort. Renewal communications for those of you who are currently Indiana eFMNP authorized merchants are targeted to begin February 21st. That communication will come to you by email. So on and around that date, if you don't see something from in WIC Commodities Programs at health.in.gov, please check your spam and junk folders. We also have loaner equipment kits made up of iPad minis and hotspots for any merchant who would like to participate in Indiana eFMNP but does not have access to a smart device. Today, we were hoping to allow a couple of our early adopter farmers to share with you their experience with Indiana eFMNP. It's one thing for me to talk about it, and I can talk about our programs for days, but it's quite another to hear from farmers who are actually in the trenches day-to-day working with this program. And did Carol join us?
Let me check. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't see her. Something must have come up.
Okay, not a problem. So we'll start with Tun Nyunt from Fort Wayne, which is in Allen County, doing great work with Purdue Extension and the local WIC clinics in that area. And Kim Spangler from Yorktown in Delaware County, who bravely was our very first test pilot back in 2023. I have some questions prepared, but if you would like to just start by sharing your opinions, experiences with Indiana eFMNP, I would love that. Kim, since you are unmuted, would you like to start?
Okay, hi, good afternoon. Kim Spangler. I'm with Spangler Farms Market in Yorktown, Indiana. We are a family-owned farmers market. Am I echoing? I'm echoing very bad on my end.
Yes, unfortunately too.
Yes, if everyone who isn't speaking would please mute their microphones, I think that would help.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk again, and then if you guys can't hear me, let me know. Family farmed farmers market in Yorktown, Indiana. We've been doing WIC and senior vouchers probably since the early 2000s when my in-laws ran the farm. I started taking over the farm in 2012. So my experience has been with the paper copies, where you'd stamp and go to the bank. And then as we transitioned in 2022 to the electronic version. I think since over the past 2 years, we've got a lot of the kinks worked out. The biggest thing is when the customers come to you that they have their smartphone and that they downloaded the app and that they're ready to go. We experienced a lot of customers coming that were still at the email stage, which said they were eligible but hadn't downloaded the app or verified their eligible money at their local WIC office. So that kind of set them back, meaning they had to leave the farmers market and touch base again with the WIC office to get all that finalized. The next hurdle, I think, was username passwords, which I'm horrible at myself. A lot of them would come with their phones ready to pay and then couldn't remember their username passwords to get into the app. So we struggled a little bit with that. I saw someone said I have
Kim,
yes.
Yeah, you're echoing.
I know. I don't know. Right, I'm going to mute myself a minute.
Yes, please.
Sometimes I have to turn off my speakers in order not to echo.
That makes sense.
It happens a lot when there are many of us on the same call in the same room.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, is that any better? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. And then I can't hear you guys, so.
Don't worry, just.
Okay. Okay, so username passwords.
Okay, you're still echoing. Maybe lean back a little. I don't know.
Username passwords. Can you hear?
That's
Is that
better.
better?
Okay. Yep. You got it.
Okay. All right. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Username passwords was a hurdle we had with some customers, but when the customer came, had their app, had their username passwords, it was a flawless system. It was super easy just to scan their QR code onto our cell phone that we designated for the program. The steps to walk through were seamless. It posts their balance right away. So all in all, it's a great experience, much easier and quicker than the paper vouchers and getting all the signatures. And they can spend what they want as opposed to trying to always round up to get to the $3 or $5 increments that we had when we had the paper versions. Is there anything else you want me to address, Legita?
I think let's go to WIN to share their experience with us. And then I have a list of questions if, and I'm sure they're not exhaustive and that the audience probably has questions as well. Thank you, Kim. WIN, would you like to share your experience with us?
Of course. Yeah, first year, we are starting with the check, and then last year and before last year, we use electronically the transition. That overall, I need to introduce myself. Sorry, I forgot it. I'm the one of the leader of the Burmese farmer. We are based in Fort Wayne, and we have totally nearly 10 farmer, and we participate in WIC and Senior program. I think already 3 years, and that program is very benefit for our Burmese population in Fort Wayne. Also, there is a very good benefit for our farmer. There is what I say is when we switch to the electronically transition, like the application, then our Burmese people have a lot of technical issue. Some people they do not have the email account. So one of my colleagues helped to activate their WIC account, then they can get the benefit. So that is uh, very hard for the people. Those are very behind the technology. But everything on our market is a good outcome, and our community is very happy to participate in this program.
Thank you. And we are very happy that you participate as well, because it doesn't do us any good to issue benefits if we don't have farmers who are able to accept them. There's a question in chat.
Yeah.
Asking how we get vendors interested in signing up and accepting these benefits. What do you have any experience in your community about what helped to get farmers to sign up to become authorized merchants?
For the farmer, I'm taking all the paperwork I do myself for all my farmer. And another one is the problem is many of the people don't know about when is the starting date and when is the ending date. So they don't know when is a good time to register for the benefit.
Good to know. Kim, how about you?
Well, we're a farmer's market on our own, so it's just us there. But I think that he had mentioned about expiration days. Well, the old system with paper, they had an entire maybe 3 months, at least 2 months to spend, whereas now they are getting 30 days. So it was just reminding them. We would try to show them their balance on their phone because it was super quick for them to pull that up after the transaction cleared, and just reminding them that they had 30 days from the day that they ran that transaction to come back to a farmer's market and spend it. So I think they get more money now, but they have a 30-day window to spend it as opposed to an entire vegetable season.
Yes. Also, some of the customer complain about because of first time they get $60, they keep that $60, and then they think that they can get another $60. So they think when they get $120, they will buy on that day everything they want to buy on that day. Unfortunately, when they come back, the first $60 is gone away. They not transition. They are not transition. So they lost the money.
Yes. We have a lot of outreach materials that we have produced. We've also engaged Extension on 2 different outreach projects, one with WIC and one with Senior, that we hope will get that information out there. Something that I know we need to do is to translate many of our materials into languages other than English and Spanish. It is a paradigm shift. Anytime you change something, it's a little bit, there is a learning curve. One of the reasons I mentioned earlier that we went to the 30-day window was in an attempt to spend our federal food funds. Historically, we've only spent about half of them. The other was that it falls right in line with regular WIC benefits, which are only valid for 30 days. So it should be easy for our WIC folks to figure that out. We are developing an educational piece for local agencies to use when they're issuing benefits, so that they can have a conversation with the recipients about what produce are you really interested in. Well, it is available during these months where you live. So perhaps you should not get your benefit today, June 15th, if what you're really interested in is watermelon. And each local agency can schedule the available date of benefits. So if the client really is only interested in watermelon, they could get their benefits September 15th, for example. So they could be issued, but they won't be available to them until September 15th. So they're valid for 30 calendar days from the available date. And that is a conversation that local agencies should be having at the time of issuance, which is also when they are supposed to be providing FMNP specific nutrition education. We have a lot of work to do.
Legita, I have a question based off of that. Is it 30 days from when their money is loaded onto their card at the WIC office, or 30 days from the day they spend it the first day, the first time they spend on it?
It's not loaded onto their card, so it's completely separate from the WIC PBT card.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't use the word card, but the app. I should have maybe said that.
It's 30 calendar days from the available date, and the local agency sets the available date.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a conversation. Would it be easier if it was just, yes, I'm giving it to you today, it's valid for 30 days, but there's more flexibility than that in it. And we always want to encourage local agencies to talk to our clients, to understand what they're interested in, to refer them to education resources. Purdue's FoodLink website is an amazing resource for education on produce. There are beautiful pictures of what the produce is supposed to look like, and tips on how to select it, how to preserve it, how to store it, and how to prepare it, as well as nutritional information. I use it all the time myself. Question: how do the farmers get reimbursed? That money goes directly via ACH, Automated Clearinghouse, transfer into the farmer's bank account.
I had zero problems with it. It was all transferred maybe 2-3 days after the sales transaction, if not quicker on some of them.
Yeah.
I also no problem. After I received all the money into my bank account, and then I write a check to the all farmer the next day.
Yes, I think that was a big improvement, especially considering some feedback that I had heard from farmers over the last years of our check process, where local banks were not wanting to accept the Farmers Market Nutrition Program checks. I cannot tell you the number of conversations I've had with bank managers to explain that those were not monopoly money. They actually were real checks. The pushback was, it's not made out to Farmer John Smith, but it really was. It was made out to Nutrition Program Farmers Market Vendor, and that 4-digit stamp, unique number, identified the farmer as a participant. But it was a pain. And then they wanted to require that all farmers have a business account in order to process those checks. So I think this helped decrease some of that non-programmatic issues for FMNP. Question for Kim and Wynn: has being an eFMNP authorized merchant benefited your business?
I would say yes. We've been doing it, I don't know, probably 20 plus years. I've been bad at tracking the numbers and the growth, but we definitely have a lot of repeat customers at our farm that come every year with their vouchers and spend them. It's just another option for our customers. We also take SNAP. We also take, our local hospital does a nutrition program. We take that, and then cash and credit. So just another option for local families in our area to be able to shop at our farm.
Thank you. When has it helped your business?
Yes, it's very helpful for us not only for Burma, sorry, not only for farmer, but also our Burmese community. Because, our farmer is growing, we are growing 11 acre growing. If we do not have any market, we cannot get money, our, we, where we can sell our produce, So right now we participate in the WIC program, WIC and Senior program. Our farmers are very happy because we know which kind of vegetable is our people like. So we can grow it and we can sell it. Also, our community, if we are not growing in our city or our county, those produce are come from Florida or California, and all the prices are very high. Like our very famous sour leaf. Before we growing forward, sour leaf 1 pound is at least $8 a pound. $8. Now all the people can get it just $4. So that is good for farmer and good for our community. And also that we can save our money in state.
That is a really good point. Keeping it local, better produce for the people, and keeping that money local, and helping farmers grow. One of these programs' priorities is to keep the farmers in business, because farmers are who feed us. Let's see.
I think last year our farm can get I think 25,000, nearly 25,000.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This is a little bit of a strange question. It's okay if you don't have one, but do you have a success story, or just a feel-good story that you would like to share?
Yes. Before this, we joined the WIC and Senior program. We do not have cook house. After we joined this program, because of the program is early July and ending on the end of the September. So if we grow normally, sometimes the weather is very bad. Weather is too cold. We cannot grow our plant and we cannot produce early. So right now our 3 farmers have the whole house, and then we can grow early and we can sell on time. So that is a very our successful story about agriculture.
Thank you. Kim, do you have one?
Well, I guess maybe one of our biggest was just helping. It was a transition year, so we were able to help 2 or 3 customers. They showed up with their apps. We helped them kind of work with their emails that they could get an app. So we did just take the time and help some customers go through the process, set up a new username or refresh their password because they forgot, so that they could. Her dollars expired that day, so she hated to lose the $50. So I had enough staff that day where we could pull one to the side, and one of my tech savvy teenagers who could help her figure out and get it set up. But so that's that. I think yeah, that's probably our biggest success story, is just working with them and helping them get established as we all go through the growing pains of switching to electronic devices. But the paper, I did want to mention that if they don't have cell phones, I had several show up with the paper app or the paper QR code, and that works seamlessly also. Even if they have it wadded up and folded 15 times, you could still press it out and the code it scanned and it all went well. So there is an option if they don't have a smartphone. And we had several customers come with paper options.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to address some of the questions in the chat just to make sure we get to them.
I saw someone ask about Saturday deposits.
Yes,
I'm not positive.
Even with checks, if you got a check on a Saturday, you couldn't deposit it into your bank until Monday, and then it would take 3 to 5 days for you to get the money from that check. What happens with settlements is that settlements occur at midnight every night. Bank operations do not happen. They go pending. Just from looking at my own electronic accounts, banking accounts, I can spend money and it will show up as pending, but your bank isn't going to settle. Like the bank isn't going to settle what I spent until they open again on Monday. So no, they're not going to, they have not ever, and I don't think they will ever get same day cash reimbursement.
Yeah, I feel like I get my Saturday, Sunday deposits on Monday morning or sometime Monday when they post again.
Yeah. So it's there, but you can't access it until it has posted. Someone asked, this is totally a niche question. If no one else has this problem, but someone needs to change bank account numbers going from DBA to LLC. If that changes your tax identification number, you also have to communicate with the MarketLink team, and it may involve updating your application, but that is a them question. You are, as an authorized eFMNP merchant, can change your banking information from within the merchant portal. So once you're active, you choose what bank account you want that to go to, and you do that from within your merchant portal. Let's see.
I do see some questions about the 30 days and lack of transportation to the farmers market. I will just tell you, I do have several people that came and would spend it all at once because they knew they wouldn't get back in 30 days. So I guess if they're feeding a lot of people, $50 probably could spend it all at once and then eat it before it all went bad. But for a senior, it might be hard to only have 30 days to spend $50 and be able to eat the produce while it's still fresh.
I have the answer to this question because I am also a senior. I turned 66 this weekend. I can spend $40 at the farmer's market, no problem.
Yeah.
What I can't consume while it's fresh, I will either blanch and freeze or I'll dehydrate it. Mm-hmm. But that is an option. No, there is no movement to change that window to the full season because we cannot fully expend our federal food funds. If we issue them, they're all out there and we don't know what we've spent until the end of the season when it's too late to reissue them. Again, the WIC folks are used to 30-day windows. Their regular WIC benefits expire after 30 days.
Legita, can I put a plug in for CWCs at this time?
Yes, please.
I would also recommend reaching out to your community wellness coordinator. These are the exact barriers that we try to eliminate and fix, whether that's handing out the QR codes at the farmer's market, bringing a farmer to the WIC office. of course, we won't be able to fix all barriers, but we can have a conversation about it and see if we can work to eliminate that transportation barrier if that's a big issue for, you know, whatever community you live in.
Excellent. And Lacey, do you have handy the link to the Purdue page where they can find their community wellness coordinator?
I will put that in. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I cannot say enough good things about community wellness coordinators. I've worked with Purdue since at least 2016. Every CWC that I have met is so invested in their community because that's where they live. They live in their community. They know their community. They assess the needs and prioritize how to address those barriers to nutrition, health, and wellness. Did I get that right, Lacey? The 11 that are scheduled, that particular piece of material will be available once we have lined out the times on each of the days. We have the dates, we have the locations. I just need a couple of other times. Our first presence to help enroll new merchants will be at Small Farms Conference, March the 4th and 5th.
That's
yes,
correct.
March 4th and 5th in Danville, Indiana. We will have a vendor table at the trade show. There will be people there to assist farmers the entirety of the first day and the first half of the second day. What you need to bring with you in order to let us complete the process is your banking information, which is either a blank check or a completed ACH authorization form from your bank. And you need your tax information. We will have forms for you. We'll have W-9 forms there for you, but you will need to have your tax information in order to fill that out. And Krista, yes, we have 11 events scheduled. They will occur in March and April. Yes, Becca, there is a concern. Farmers markets are not open every day of the week like regular grocery stores. However, many of the farm stands are open all or most of every day of the week. Let's see. Thank you, Lacey. I cannot keep up with chat. Lacey already answered that question.
Legita, I think one of the other questions is what can customers buy, as well as how can a vendor sign up?
Okay, a vendor can sign up. If they want personal assistance, they can attend one of these 11 eFMNP merchant enrollment events. It is not required that they do it that way. It's just something that we offer to help because the year one process is lengthier. After you are on the program as an authorized vendor, as long as you remain on the program, the only thing you have to do is an annual state level application. But for those who want to complete their application on their own, we can provide you with a link. I'll put contact information for my team in the chat before I sign off. But you can communicate with us by telephone or by email, and we can give you some of the wonderful instructions that we've provided and the link to go to complete the application. The website with the application is undergoing some updates to make it easier for our Indiana farmers who are only renewing to not have to go through all of that process they did last year. And the target date, the reason we're pushing out renewal communication to the 21st is because the target date for the team to have the website updated is the 19th, And I wanted to give them a little grace in case they were not able to hit their absolute target. What recipients can buy: fresh, locally grown, unprocessed fruits, vegetables, and cut herbs from Indiana eFMNP authorized merchants.
Legita,
Yes.
if I'm a vendor and I'm 55 and above, or I'm on WIC, can you repeat again how I can sign up for the benefits?
WIC clients contact your WIC clinic. The only current WIC participant that is not eligible for eFMNP is an infant 0 to 4 months of age. So let's say a mom has a baby that is a month old in June, not eligible for eFMNP. However, after that infant turns 4 months of age, they become eligible. So that's another thing for WIC recipients to bear in mind. If they have let's say if the mom is pregnant, breastfeeding, or postpartum, they are eligible, children aged 1 to 5. And for a larger family, they can stage the benefits throughout the season. So maybe mom gets benefits in June, child 1 gets benefits in July, child 2 gets benefits in August. Now, September, the baby is now 4 months old. The baby can get their benefits in September because benefits are per individual who is eligible, not per household. Great question.
What can you review seniors again? Because I've had that question asked. It's a confusing question for older adults.
Seniors age 60 or older, at or below 185% of current federal poverty income guidelines. There is another group of people who may be eligible. It's very difficult to achieve this bar. If they are 55 or older, living in housing primarily occupied by the elderly, and congregate nutrition services are provided at that location, then they would also be eligible. But all 3 of those must be true. So for general purposes, 60 or older, 185% of federal income poverty guidelines. No one got any backup checks. It's not allowed it's called dual participation. It's not allowed to get a benefit by the same person in the same season. And we didn't have any bank issues last year. D&H Farms says, we documented $1,100 of eFMNP income alone from last year, and they only sold in Plainfield and Martinsville markets. Yay, thank you. Good to see another participating merchant here. And Pam, to address your issues, those seniors who don't have access to a smart device can get printed QR codes. One of my priority requests for this year, hopefully it will happen, is to my plan. Don't go tell everybody this is going to happen because I don't control the actual software. But one of my priority asks of the entity, and I should mention that it doesn't really affect anybody. It's just for transparency. But I have asked that local agencies be able to print the QR codes to a PDF locally so that they could then print them on whatever printer they have there. And we would not have to email all of those codes and have them get blocked by security. and all of that. So fingers crossed. But for transparency, again, does not affect anything with recipients nor merchants. But the National Association of Farmers Market Nutrition Programs has created a brand new nonprofit entity called Farmers Food Assistance Bureau. Novodia Group, the creators of the Total Pay Go and My Market Link platform, donated their technology to FFAB. FFAB's mission is to support farmers who want to participate in all federal nutrition programs. This is a good thing for our programs. The fact that it is owned by a nonprofit entity will mean that the costs remain low. Amy Crone, the Market Link project manager, is the director of FFAB. The programmers from Novodia Group are now staff at FFAB. So nothing really changes except from with whom we have a contract. But I'm very happy. We're hoping to streamline processes and automate a lot more things. Do farmers have any criteria to participate? Yes. They must live in Indiana or a bordering county of a neighboring state. They must grow more than half of what they sell produce-wise over the course of the season. Well, what does grown by mean? It means that they personally grow it, it's grown under the farmer's direction, or it's grown as a part of a documented cooperative. Honey and syrup and beef, no. Only fresh, locally grown, unprocessed fruits, vegetables, and cut herbs are eligible to be purchased with eFMNP benefits.
That's one thing that just makes it a little difficult. The more of these programs we participate in, we have a list at our register that says what you can get with this program. If they want to buy honey, no, but if they want to use their like EBT, you can buy honey and syrup with. And then our hospital has a program that has different criteria what they can buy. So it gets a little tricky sometimes at checkout as to what they can't buy. So the best solution I came up with is 3 different sheets for the 3 different programs, and Double Up has a little bit different guidelines too. So got a little tricky sometimes at the register, but you just got to have some list and hope you work through it correctly.
Yes. And I think ours is pretty, not really, but basically Georgia peaches cannot, if it isn't grown in Indiana or a bordering county of a neighboring state, then it's not eligible. So bananas, pineapples, things like that do not grow here are not eligible. Yeah, but yeah, I totally understand, Kim. It's difficult for the producers when every program has different criteria. Yeah, maybe we need to come up with, maybe we need to provide you with a poster.
Well, that would be like, yeah, I've made some myself, but yeah, if you guys had posters that I could just put that says, if they're paying with their WIC card, this is what they can get. Because I know herbs, you said fresh cut. Can they buy potted herbs? I always get confused on potted herbs versus EBT cards. I think they can, I don't know, like there's just
SNAP, they can buy plants. eFMNP cut herbs.
Yeah.
Let's see. If a vendor wants to apply to be a participant, how do they do that, and what items can they buy? Only fresh grown items. Carolyn, do you mean if a vendor wants to apply as a benefit recipient? If a vendor applies, they become an authorized merchant and they can sell the fresh, unprocessed, locally grown produce. If a vendor also applies as a benefit recipient, if they're a senior or a WIC eligible recipient, they would do that through their WIC clinic or their area agency on aging, except Washington, Lawrence, and Orange counties, they come to the state agency and my team. You can get more authorized vendor signs if you are an authorized merchant. When you submit your annual state application, we send you 2 more authorized merchant signs. And we did put some little cheat notes on the back side of the signs last year to try to help merchants a little bit more. Did I miss anything, Lacey?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see anything either.
Okay. Other questions, feel free to come off of mute and ask the farmers or Lacey or me, anything that you want.
Is the plan to start the money being available again in July this year?
The program runs, benefit issuance can occur June 1st through September 30th. We leave it up to the local agencies to determine when, where, and how they issue the benefits, because availability of produce varies top to bottom in the state and based on the weather. Some years we have wonderful produce growing out our ears, and some years I am preaching to the choir. It's really late, but benefits may be issued June 1 through September 30. Those people who get their benefits on September have until October 30th to use them. Pam says, we have had wonderful experience with this program and have clients look forward to get their funds to get fresh produce. Thank you, Pam. When we'll be sending out an email reminder February 21st with the link for you to complete your state application for the year. And because you're already authorized, that is the only thing you have to do is that state annual state application. And that is primarily so that we know that you're still growing produce and we know where you're going to be selling for the year, because we are required by USDA to monitor every newly participating farmer and 10% of all the rest of the farmers. If we don't know where you're selling, we don't know where to go to do our job. So that's why we do an annual application at the state level. No one is as excited to get veggies as SNAP and WIC recipients. It's good for my mental health. Thank you, Katie, Teeter Organic Farm.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I wanted to know about because of this year I received one of the 1099 document. So how many percent we have to pay tax for this WIC and senior transition?
Any merchant who redeemed $600 or more in federal benefits will get a 1099. Does that answer the question, or did I misunderstand?
Yeah, I would like to know about how many percent we have to pay tax. 25% or 15% or 10% we have to pay tax.
Oh, I don't know. All I have access to is gross funds spent, and I can look at individual top 5 merchants by local agency, by program. but I don't, nor should I, have access to merchants' financial information.
Thank you.
But if you have questions like that, please contact the Market Link team, and they can do some research and get that information for you.
Legita, is there funding again this year, 2025, for the Total Pay Go?
Yes, yes.
I just tried to log into mine. I just tried to log into mine, and it says I need a new activation code. So I assume they ended, I guess, when our market seasons ended, and we'll get new codes for you guys. Okay.
And as part of the transition, they are going to make some changes.
Okay.
To make this work better for us. By making it a hard stop, that's not necessarily the best idea. So that is something that FFAB is working on to try to make that work a little bit better. Robin, I am not the expert. I know it's gone back and forth multiple times. It was $600, and then they said, well, not this year. And then it was $600, and then, well, no, not this year. So I would just go with what your accountant tells you, because they are the experts. I only get this information by hearsay. Anyone else? I want to be respectful of everybody's time.
Did you address the plants? That was asked twice. If you can purchase plants with WIC?
No. No. In fact, WIC cannot. WIC, what I refer to as big WIC or standard WIC benefits, cannot be used at markets or farm stands in Indiana. What we are talking about is Indiana eFMNP. Those benefits, mobile app or printed QR code. Indiana eFMNP benefits can be used to purchase fresh, unprocessed, locally grown fruits, vegetables, and cut herbs from authorized merchants. It cannot be used to purchase plants. SNAP, however, SNAP can be used to purchase plants. It's confusing.
Perfect. Thank you. But you did a great job explaining that. Thank you.
Thank you. A quick question. It was mentioned that produce sold must be grown by the farmer or a documented cooperative. What certification or requirement is there for cooperative? I need to see an agreement among the farmers who make up the co-op. And grown by the farmer, personally grown under the farmer's direction. So if the farmer has cousins, nieces, nephews, and that farmer directs them to grow produce for this farmer, that's allowable. But the co-op, I want to see some sort of document that shows that this is an actual legal, if you will, cooperative. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any with tax specialists. I try to stay as far away from them as possible. In fact, I think I'm going to have someone do mine for me this year because it's getting to be problematic. But does any farmer have information that they could refer Nicole Woods as a nonprofit organization to a tax specialist that specializes in farming? I know a grants person. Christina, those two gentlemen that we talked about last year, and their organization that helps farmers. I'll have to look that up.
Doesn't ring a bell, but
it's been a year. I'll look that up and get back.
Nicole, I would also recommend FarmWise now has value chain coordinators and they might be able to assist you with finding that tax specialist. I'm not for sure where you live. There are, I think, 4 or 5 in the state, so it would be a regional person. But that's probably who I would reach out to if, Legita, you can't find that name.
If any of you are interested in assistance or education in grant writings, particularly in the agricultural space, Prosperity Ag, that's what she does, is grant writing in the agricultural space. All right, last call. I think we are 2 minutes over our allotted time. And I'll put the contact phone number and email address. Please share it with any farmers who want information about how to apply for Indiana eFMNP. And I thank everyone, and especially Lacey, for the introduction, for sharing an hour with me today.
Thank you, everyone.